We are full tilt here at the Maple Farm. We had a big sap run. I didn't haul the sap yesterday because I was working in the woods fixing micro leaks, but today we're gonna haul sap. So we're gonna go inside right now. We're gonna get the RO going. Get some lights turned on in here this morning. So temperature dropped right out. Yeah, oh, that's slippery right there. Almost went down. Ice coming off the wheeler. That thawed out. That's a great way to start your day right there. Go on the ground. So there's a screen that goes in this right before it enters the feed pump. So I usually like to take this out and take it home, and I wash it out with hot water. It's the easiest way to clean it out. So we're gonna put that screen back in here first. We'll put the cap back on. We'll open up some valves. This is the one to the sap tank. We'll open this. We don't have a full tank of sap, but it's up there pretty good. It's probably down about 8 inches, so. Let's get this RO fired up. So I got the valves open. Valve coming from the sap tank right there, coming right down the pipe, up into the unit and into the feed pump. So the RO is pretty simple to run. It gives you directions on how to run it for what you're doing. So we're gonna be concentrating. So it tells you which way you gotta have your valves. When you're done concentrating, like right before you're done concentrating, you want to turn on the permeate. That's the water that was taken out, and you want to run it through the unit, and that pushes all the sugars out of the membrane. So you can sit out there and we'll test the sap coming out and until it gets down to like 1%, roughly like what's coming in from the woods. Then you chase all the sugars out of the membranes, and then you go into a rinse. So you already saw in a previous video how we rinse, wash, rinse, but depending on how much sap we get, I rinse, sometimes I'll just do a rinse, but most times I do a rinse, wash, rinse. So we're gonna turn this baby on. So we gotta make sure all these valves are in that direction. The concentrate's down, so it can send the concentrate up this pipe, over and into the tanks out here. And then we're gonna send the permeate over to the big tank. And then this one's going up too. Make sure this V18 valve is on concentrating. This valve is all the way out because when you do the wash, you have to unscrew it all the way out. So once this unit gets running, we'll tighten this down, and this will set the point value of what you want your sugar content to be. So we'll start by hitting the feed pump. All right, so the feed pump's entering the liquid into the system. So now we'll turn on the pressure pump. And there you have it. So it's sending concentrate over into the concentrate tank, and it's sending permeate, which is the water, out of the sap out to the permeate tank. I'll show you. We'll let this thing get running for a few seconds, and then I'll start adjusting the screw here to set the sugar content. That's how much water we're not using, or how we don't have to haul. So I'll show you the concentrate coming out quick. And that's the good stuff right there. That's the liquid gold, as we like to call it in the maple business. So I'll show you how I check that. So I have this cup. So I have this cup right here, and I'll fill this cup up with sap, and this sap hydrometer it'll lift right up and float. And on that sap hydrometer is sugar content. You have 1%, 2%, 3%. 4% working all the way down to 12%. So by adjusting that screw in there, I can set the sugar content, and then I can check it with this sap hydrometer, and then I know exactly what the sugar content is of the sap coming in the tank. We're gonna go in here and play around with this valve for a little bit and see if we can dial this thing in. I feel like taking it to about 7% today. And you'll see this gauge, will start to lower down. It's probably going to be around 4 someplace. I've run this machine several times, so I know roughly right around 4 gallons a minute is roughly where it likes to be, to get right around almost 7%. So we'll set it right to 4 for right now. We'll check that sap. All right, so now we'll just drop this cup underneath the sap. Currently it's about It's about 4% sugar. We'll let that run because sometimes it takes a few minutes for it to get it up to sugar content. So we'll let that run for a few minutes and check it again. If not, if I have to adjust it a little bit, I'll adjust it a little bit more. But that's how you check the sugar content of the sap right there. This tank wasn't full, but there had to be close to 4,000 gallons in there because it's a 4,100 gallon tank. So by ROing this sap, basically I'm going to take 4,000 gallons down to about 600 gallons, right around 7% sugar content. That's going to take the hauling from 8 loads down to 1 load. You see how important that is? So that just saved me on fuel, saved me on trucking. It'd take me half to 3/4 of the day to truck this whole tank of sap up to get rid of it. So that's what the RO does. It saves you time and saves you money. And it also increases your sugar content. Like I'm only going to 7%. If I wanted to push that through again or slow that down, I could take it right up to probably 10 with that unit. I don't know if I could get it up to 12. I've never tried. I've had it to 10 before, but it takes that much longer. So, and then if you're making syrup, you know, you want as high a bricks as possible. That way it's making syrup instantly. So let's go back over there. We'll check that sugar content one more time. Just about 6.3%. So I'm going to crank that down a little bit more and I'm going to leave it alone. Let it, it's going to be what it's going to be. So if you've had some long days in Maple Woods like I have and early mornings, sometimes a great little pick-me-up is a nice little chug of 7% sap. Woo! That'll get you where you need to be right there. You don't need no energy drinks. Right there is 100% straight out of the tree. So if you're going to eat or drink any kind of sugar, that's the kind of sugar you want because there's nothing, no garbage added into that. So, all right, we've got a lot of sap to haul today. I've got over 2,000 gallons at the other lease. So today is a trucking kind of day. You're going to see what it's like to truck a bunch of sap. We're going to take it up to Jason, who I sell it to, who's got a pretty nice maple operation. I think he told me he's going to start boiling about noon. So we'll even walk in there and show you his maple operation. So here we go. Basically, pretty simple. Back my truck up and get the center of this tank right underneath the center of that pipe right there. So, but we'll unlock this door first. So I'm a little off center this morning, but that should hit the hole. So, all right, it's pretty simple here. We'll open up this valve. We'll open up this valve. That puts the sap into the pump right there. And all you gotta do is hit the switch. Usually it takes about 5-6 minutes to put a load on. That's 550 gallons, so. I ended up buying these big pumps so it would pump fast. Otherwise you'd be here all day long waiting to pump sap on the truck. So kind of a nasty cold day. Everything froze up again last night, so, but it's just setting a stage. Dude, we're gonna get a massive sap run. Next week's probably gonna be the heart of our season, so. A lot of sunny days, almost 50 something one day, some freezes. All right, so we're getting real close to a load. It's filling up quick. That's about it right there. Come in here, we'll hit the switch. All right, we're good to go. Top's tight, tailgate's up. We'll get in the truck, we'll head for Jason's. We're getting just about to Bancroft Maple. So Bancroft Maple, been friends of mine. The owner, Jason Bancroft, been friends of mine since high school. We went to school together, we were a year apart. Him and his 2 sons, they have a really nice operation, and you can see it right here. Runs right along the road right here, all the way directly right into the sugar house. I think he's got 4,000 to 5,000 taps on this woods directly into the sugar house. Don't quote me on that, but we're just about here. We're gonna pull up in and then we'll show you his facility. pretty awesome facility. These guys are good guys. You know, I've been selling sap to them for I think 6 or 7 years now, and you know, basically a handshake agreement. Back straight down in here, we have a 1.5-inch pipe, goes in the back of my tank. You open up the valve and it gravity feeds into a 16,000 gallon silo. So right there, 16,000 gallon silo. So he put that in last year. That was a game changer for hauling because he had 2 big tanks inside, but a lot of times we had to strategically wait and haul certain, you know, times of the day. But now with that big silo, I can haul 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m., 4 o'clock at night. So it really does make a big difference. It helps a lot. So we'll get this hose hooked up to the back of my tank here and we'll unload this load of sap. And it's that simple. So usually, I don't know, 5 to 6 minutes to unload a load, 10 minutes maybe. I don't think it's 10 minutes, but it doesn't take long. So this sap right here in the back of the tank is headed down the pipe and down into that silo. So he has a RO as well. It's a big one. So basically it comes out of that silo through his RO and then he puts it up in the head tank, which feeds the evaporator. So we'll catch up with those guys later. I'm sure they'll be down here. I think they're gonna start boiling about 11. So we'll see, we'll hook up with those guys here in a little bit. While I'm sitting here waiting for this load to unload, I have to keep track of every load I haul and all the gallons. So that being because I need to get paid at the end of the season. So basically how selling sap works is that the buyer, which is Jason, and me, the seller, it figures out to be 50-50. He gets half the profit and I get half the profit. So it's based off the bulk syrup price. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, I'll give you X amount of dollars for your sap, but that's not how it works. There's a price sheet, and basically what the bulk syrup price is going and the sweetness of the sugar content, that's how I get paid. We're certified organic, so we get, I think, I don't know what that works out to be, 10 cents maybe, 5 to 10 cents more per pound. But so right here's my stats for the season, which we just got going here. So you can see February 26th, I did 2,130 gallons from Scottswoods at 1%. The next day, the 27th, I did 1,650 at 1.2. And then 100, 1,650, 1,100, and today will be today's. But see how the sugar content has rose, which is great. Started really weak, 1.6, 1.4, 1.4. 1.6 is really good for me. I think last year my average was like 1.2, 1.1. That's terrible. So that makes a big difference. Like when you're doing comparisons with like other producers around, you know, we get thousands and thousands of gallons of sap, but our sugar content is weak. So in return, you don't make as much syrup. So on the right hand side of this is Mike's Woods, where I have the RO. So you're going to see the gallons are way less, but the sugar content's way up. So, you know, I did 650 gallons of 6.2, 6.4. I didn't get a very good run on this day, so I didn't even concentrate it. It was 1.2 coming out of the woods, same day with that. But the last 2 days I was able to concentrate, and I'm concentrating right now. So yeah, I track every single gallon that comes up here, and then at the end of the year, that's how I get paid. So this load is just about empty. We're gonna unhook the pipe and head for a second load. Load number 3, headed back up to Jason's, and I almost didn't get in there on the last load, and when I came back down out, it was like skating on ice. I had all I could do to keep my truck from not going in a ditch, so I'm a little bit nervous about this run. But anyways, I wanted to show you this projected weather forecast. This is starting Monday. We're setting up for a massive run. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. Then it's getting cold again. So that right there, folks, is probably going to be the heart of our season. The trees aren't fully thawed yet, but they will be. I'm projecting like Tuesday to be a huge sap run. So we're going to be real busy here, you know, after the weekend. Today's Friday. We got Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. It looks like we're game on. So that's a pretty good forecast. I don't really like those upper 50s, but there's not much you can do about it. One good thing about their forecast, it's always usually 3 to 4 degrees colder here. That's the city forecast. So those nights that are borderline freezing that you see there, they will freeze here where we live. So this could be a massive week of sap. I'd like to know what our totals are by the end of that week, this week coming up. But we're almost back to Jason's. I'm gonna get a little bit head of steam. I'm gonna better head of steam this time going up in that driveway. I'm gonna hit it pretty hard, and then coming down is what I'm worried about. But he said he was gonna plow it, so hopefully he plowed it. I don't know if that's gonna help things or not, but we'll see. So he hasn't plowed it yet. So should I wait or just give her heck? I'm gonna tell you though, man, if something goes wrong, it's gonna be bad. You could see he hasn't plowed it yet. You can see where I kind of coming down. We didn't get a lot of snow. We got like 2 or 3 inches, but it's hard packed right down. It's like skating on ice. Well, he's starting to spin now. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. Oh, we don't need to put the sap truck in the bank. I don't know how it's so slippery. It was bare yesterday. Jason says that should be a little better. I don't know, man. I see him slipping pretty good, but we'll see if I can get a head of steam on here. I took the traction control off. These trucks, they all have traction control, so you can't spin. As soon as you start spinning, it knocks your RPMs down, so. Oh, that's a little better. We spun a little bit, but we made it. The old Chevy, she just barely made it. All right, so I got back here just in the nick of time. Look at that liquid gold in there, baby. That's washing. Check this quick. Pumping sap out and into my truck. We got a lot going on right now, so ended up getting to be 6.6% this tank of sap, so. Snowing again. We'll try to get back up to Jason's quick with this load. He's waiting on me. I thought I could get this done quicker than this, but I'm gonna get a full load here, 550 gallons, run that up, and I got a little bit left over at the other building. I'm gonna have a little bit left here. I'm gonna have to mix the two together, then take a test of it and see where it's at. So currently we're just pumping this out. You see the sap level coming up in my tank out there, so when it gets to the 550 mark, I'll just flick the switch right here. It's pretty simple. I've got about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna go up once this tank is full, unload that, go to the other pump house, get that last 150, drain, clean everything out, come back here, load the rest of that. Hopefully by then this is done and I can put it into the final rinse. So I'll shut this valve first. All right, we're good to go. We'll head up. So finally back here with my last load. It's been a battle today. That hill over there, it doesn't look like much, but that has claimed some vehicles today. Actually, it claimed one vehicle. Bo was heading up that hill with his truck, spun out, ended up sliding down the hill backwards and over the bank and bounced off the side of the excavator. So not been a good day. Jason's getting a fuel delivery right now, so as soon as that fuel delivery truck gets out of the way, I'll climb the hill one last time and unload this last 450 gallons I got in the tank. Finally, last load going in the silo. I think they're getting ready to fire up the evaporator, so after we get this unloaded, we'll head down in the sugar house and see what's going on. Just got done unloading that last load of sap, and the boys got the evaporator fired up, so you see some steam coming up and a nice sunny sky. So we'll take a walk in there. You can see where our sap goes and how it's turned into pure New York State maple syrup. So yeah, this is where I bring all my sap. We've been doing business for about 6 years, and these guys make some nice maple syrup. Jason built this whole thing himself, pretty much with a chainsaw, right?
Yeah, chainsaw and a screw gun.
So, pretty talented. This place is pretty sweet. Nothing like maple syrup. I'll take you for a little walk around. So back here he's got 2 huge holding tanks. So the sap, his woods he's got up back here is like a 5,000 tap woods that comes straight into the releaser back behind me. And what's the sugar content of this in here?
That's up to 8% now.
Once you go higher, right?
Yeah, I ran it through one time at 8, and then it's running about 21.
There's what, 21% on into the evaporator.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's why that comes off at a pretty steady stream.
That's the only way we can keep up with that little RO with all the sap.
Nice. I'll walk down here and we'll show you the syrup coming off this thing.
There you go, Daniel.
We've got a long ways before I get to that level, men. What do you think you're making, an amber?
Yeah, right now, we're clean up the white today.
So this is only your third boil of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we're
we're
getting started.
We're just getting started. Next week's going to be a good week, men. I do believe next week's going to be a big week.
You're going to be busy trucking now.
As long as you keep that driveway cleared out, we'll be all right. I tried to get to 10 on mine last year. It did it, but it takes a long time. You know?
Yeah. He cranked that one right up, and it was 10. It was nice, sweet.
Nice.
That's where it's nice where we left that other bite.
Well, nice thing too is you got less to haul. That's
Yeah.
the nice part about it. He said he got a little squirrely going down the road over there the other night.
Yeah, he did, yeah. It was a sheet of ice.
Nice.
Not as squirrely as I was today, but...
I wish I would have got that on video. Part of my video is going to be that hill. That hill was the demise today. We've never had a problem with that. That's the first time in 7
hill
years.
Right there, yeah, no.
Go come in here to his RO room in here. So this is a little bit bigger than mine, but when you see me doing mine on a single post, I think this is a 3 or a 4 post RO. Hey Jason, is that a 3 post or 4 post? 4. That's a 4 post. So he's got a 4 post RO. So we'll take you up top and show you this concentrate up top. So like he said, they're taking it one pass through that at 9%. Then they're going back through that RO again up to 21 to 22%. And that's upstairs. And that's what feeds the evaporator. I'll take you up there and show you. So this is a 700-gallon tank right here, so I think he figured it'd take about 4 or 5 hours of oiling because he's got to get through this tank, and then the tank down below is concentrating and coming up into this tank, so they've got a lot of sap to go through. He's got a pretty sweet setup up here for the late nights. He's got his cot back here so he can take a nap if he needs to. If you ever wondered where our sap goes, this is where it comes, up here to Bancroft Maple. They're good people. I've known them my whole life, and Jason and Arrow and Bo, they run this operation. They run a pretty sweet operation. So. Arrow, tell me what we got going on here, buddy.
Just doing a little boiling. Not much.
So how many gallons do you think we'll fill tonight?
Probably, hopefully, right around 350.
Nice. So he's turning on the filter press right now. This is going to filter the syrup into the barrel. So you're planning on filling all these barrels? Nice. Going right in to the 40-gallon stainless steel barrels. So last year we did really good. I think we made 7,500 gallons of syrup. So they were buying barrels every day last year. It was insane. So I don't think they got nowhere near all their barrels back, but it's good enough to get started. So, but yeah, this is their barrel storage right out here. Cold storage. I forget what Jason told me this was, length and width wise, but it's pretty big. All right, Arrow, tell me what your prediction is for the 2025.
I don't know. I don't
buddy.
like to say anything. I don't like to predict like that.
I know. Well, we got a late start this year for sure, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't get much syrup, and Usually we get some good runs in January, February. We didn't get anything till like the last couple days of February, you know?
Like last year, by now, we had over 100 barrels full.
Yeah.
We got 11, I think, so far. So
We got a good week coming up, though. If we get 8 days, I don't think we've ever had 8 days in a row. We're going to make a lot of syrup next week.
good.
Jason, tell us how it was when you used to make syrup over in the old sugar house.
A lot of work, a lot of long nights, boiling 24/7.
I remember when you first bought that vacuum pump, you had saps in tanks. I've never seen so much sap in my life.
We were boiling sap, selling sap, and dumping sap.
Yep. That's when vacuum pumps were kind of first coming out too, remember?
Yeah,
Or were they? They were probably out for a while, but
yeah.
I didn't know much about vacuum at that point. They were trying to use those old farm pumps, remember?
Yeah, a lot of people did. Now they've come a long ways in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah. This is a maple syrup factory right here, man. This is no messing around. They put it in, RO it, get it right through, right, Mo?
Yeah.
Is that overflow thing where it fills one and just goes right in the other, huh? That's pretty sweet.
I would do it without one.
Yeah, trying to guess the elevation one, next thing you know it's running all over the floor.
Get bullshit in the video and then we flood them over.
Yep, that's for sure. This is where our sap goes. Our sap's turned into pure New York State maple syrup right here at Bancroft Maple. So, thanks for watching.